Alrighty, traders. This is Blake Morrow. You were listening to the Morning Edge webinar one last time. Let's do this for the Gipper. How about that? All right. I'm gonna leave my screen right here. I'll probably be referencing some charts from time to time, but let's talk about just some things that have really impacted my trading career over the last 20 plus years. One of the first things that I wanted to talk about is having a plan and letting the trades come to you. There's something that I learned from really early on in the markets is, you know, you hear this phrase, plan your trades, trade your plan. Okay, that to me is probably something that I hope that I have really instilled in you over the years. Every morning, you and I will do analysis together, okay? And if you go to a chart, this is where you have to be confident in your own abilities. Every day, every morning, we'll go to a chart and we'll go, okay, here's the euro dollar, and I always leave my drawings for you. I always leave my drawings for you because I want you to think. I want you to think about what we talked about the previous day. When we're sitting here and we go, okay, here's the euro dollar right now. If the euro dollar races to 105, I want to be on the short side of the euro. You know, Boom, we get to 105. I want to be on the short side of the euro dollar. Like yesterday, we actually I was looking at 105.20, but we rallied to like just sub 105. Didn't quite get up to the place that I wanted to short. I didn't end up shorting it, but as you can see, we spiked up there and then we came back down again. But you notice I do that every single day. Every single day. It's like a puzzle. I always try to explain it like it's a puzzle. Every morning I sit down and I've got this 100-piece jigsaw puzzle that sits in front of me, but it's all jumbled up. And I go, oh, man, what a mess. And I look at it and I say, okay, well, I want to, I want to put this over here and I want to put this piece over here. And I try to put together the whole puzzle. And what I've learned over the years is that I am putting the puzzle pieces together and I'm doing it in a systematic fashion to where I'm planning what my next move is going to be. Oh, okay, well, here I've built the edges of my puzzle, and now I'm going to start filling in the middle. It's as I'm trading, I sit there and I look at the markets and I say, okay, well, I'm going to buy or sell this currency, this instrument here. I'm not interested in buying it here. I'm interested only in buying it here. I'm not interested in shorting it until it gets here, but I want to short it when it gets there. All right. There's very rarely do I sit in front of the computer and go, oh my God, I need to buy the euro right now, or oh my God, I need to short the pound right now. Very rarely does that happen to me. Okay. What happens is I sit in front of the computer and I look at the charts and I know what my ideas are. And that's another key component of this, is I have an idea of what I want to do. What shapes those trades? What shapes those ideas? It's always a macro thesis that I have about the market. I am shorting the euro. Why? Well, we've got, the euro is breaking down against this, this, and this. We got elections coming up at the beginning of the year. The risks are that, this election happens, this election tilts it this way, and the risk of a Eurozone, blah, 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 and whatever. And so I sit there and go, okay, well, I don't want to be long the euro. I only want to be short the euro. Great. Fantastic. Now I have to look at a chart and figure out where I want to be short the euro dollar. Okay? So I use multiple methods of analysis, usually to come to a conclusion on where I'm going to enter the market. But I always have an idea of what I want to do, okay? Because one thing, if there's anything that I've learned in the markets over the years, is you can make money in either direction. That's the greatest thing. It's like, I was talking to my, I was telling you one of the most legendary traders that I know. And like I said, if you knew who he was, you would be amazed. He's like, damn, Blake, over this last year, you've been bullish the dollar and the dollar, and this is when the dollar index, and I can just, switch over to the dollar index really quick. Just give me a minute. So, over this period, this last year, in 2016, he's like, man, Blake, the dollar had been going down and it didn't even matter. You still made money when the dollar was going down because my thesis was eventually we were going to break out to the upside. So I've been buying dips this whole move. Now, was that the easiest way to trade the market? No, but did I still make money? Yeah, I actually did. Actually, I had a great year. It's been one of my best years in trading that I've had. But that's the beauty of it, is that if you have a thesis and you have an idea of what you want to do, it really doesn't matter if you're right or wrong. Okay? I mean, obviously there's some moves in the market that once they start going, you don't want to fade because the momentum is so strong. But for the most part, you can make money in either direction, and that's the most beautiful thing. But having a plan is so key. When I first started in this business, I used to trade literally, by the seat of my pants. It was all momentum-based trading. Like, oh, this is ripping. Oh, that's ripping. Oh, that's selling off. This is rallying. I'm going to buy this. I'm going to buy that. And I had no idea. I had no idea. And it's really I want to say the last 15 years or so that I've really sat down and said, okay, what do I want to do today? Great, I want to buy the dollar. Why? Blah, 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 blah. Here's the reason. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4 reasons why I want to buy the dollar. Fantastic. Now I want to buy the dollar. Now I look at my charts and use my, chart reading abilities to figure out where the best place to enter a long dollar position is going to be, or a short dollar position, but you get the point. Okay, plan your trades and trade your plan. It's so important. It's so important. In my experience, and I can't guarantee your success. I've told you for years, like, I can't guarantee you're going to be successful in the markets. I'm just trying to reshape that bell curve a little bit. If you come in contact with me, or you have in the past, you've learned from me. And if I've made your success, the potential of your success rate, 50%, 60%, 70% chance of being successful, then, I've done my job. Because, when you sit down and you talk to most people in the markets, they'll say you got a 5-10% chance of succeeding. Why? Probably just because you haven't had the right education. You don't know these things, and these are the things that, again, if I would have known in the beginning to really have a plan in the markets when I sit down, knowing where I want to enter, then that's half the battle. Okay? Because when you know where you want to enter and you know where you want to exit before you even do it, what are you polishing? I'm asking you this question. You don't have to answer. You can answer in your head. What are you polishing? You're polishing your risk management skills. See, when I sit down in the markets and I go in the morning and I go, okay, and here, let me delete some of this stuff really fast. Just from, oh shoot, I didn't want to do that. Damn it. And I didn't want to curse either on that one either. Damn, I just keep, damn it. All right, I'm really screwing this up. I didn't want to delete all those lines, but that one either. I was just trying to get rid of the blue line. Okay, so when you're looking at this and you go, okay, well, I just want to short the euro, period, end of story, and I want to sell it when it gets up to this resistance here. and you go, okay, I'm only interested in shorting the euro when it gets up here. When it gets up to this previous support, current resistance, that I see over here, and it's a 50% retracement, I want to enter right there. What you're doing is you're saying, okay, I want to short it when it gets to 105.10. I can put my risk right here. I can put my stops. That means my stops right here. I'm risking 1 to make 3 by planning my trade. Now, one of the hardest things I think for most traders to comprehend, one of the most difficult things is they think that if I sit in front of this computer for 8 hours today, or 10 hours, or if you're like me, 14 hours a day, and I sit in front of this computer, I'm analyzing the markets, I need to be paid because I deserve it. I sat in front of this computer for 14 freaking hours today. I've literally fallen asleep at my computer. I've drooled on myself. I've ignored my kids. I told my wife to get lost. I should be paid today. But really what we are paid to do is wait for that perfect trade. That's what we're paid to do. We are paid to wait for that perfect trade. You plan your trade, and you only do it if it does what you think it's going to do. Look, over time, you will become more and more proficient in your chart reading abilities and skills. You will. I can guarantee you that. I can't guarantee you much, but I can guarantee you this. The more time you spend in, this is not a business where you get rich quick. It just isn't. If people tell you it is, they got some sort of wham bam thank you ma'am strategy that's going to make you $1 gazillion, tell them to go kiss your ass and get lost. All right, this is a business that you'll be paid more based on your experience and time you sit in front of your computer. Bottom line. And the more you sit in front of your computer, the more you look at charts, the more proficient you're going to be. I can guarantee you that. Okay, your abilities will improve, tenfold and multiples by sitting in front of your computer and watching price and watching charts. Okay, no one has the secret sauce. No one. The secret sauce is within you, right? But what you'll learn is by looking at charts and having a plan and having an idea, you'll go, God, if I would have just waited for that move right there when I thought it was going to go up to 105 and just shorted it right there, I would have made a quick 40, 50 pips. And you'll find that you'll do that more and more as you become more proficient in reading charts and reading the markets in general. Okay? So plan your trades, work your plan. Along those same lines, there's something that I learned, and you guys are in for a real treat today. There's something I learned, a life lesson I learned years ago when I was just a wee little lad sitting in a cart with my mom. I buy things cheap. I buy it cheap. I don't pay retail for anything. We call it the blue light special analogy. Okay, if you've never heard this before, I got to tell you the story. And for those of you that heard it before, you're going to have to suffer through it one last freaking time. When my mom moved to Phoenix, Arizona, she was in her late 20s, or yeah, she was in her late 20s. I was 4 or 5 years old, and we moved to Phoenix. Now my mom, she's Asian. Okay, I just saw her. She came in town yesterday. We went to dinner last night. I love my mom. Most amazing American story you've ever met. Immigrant from Taiwan, married an American man. She didn't know. She knew just a few words of English. She's a computer programmer for the state of California today. She's educated. She's got her degree. She's an amazing woman. Okay. To this day, Even though she makes a six-figure income, to this day, she still makes her own clothes. She's the most conservative person I've ever met in my life. She actually will use a napkin and fold it up and try to use it at the next meal. But when she's over my house, I throw that crap away. It never gets, never makes it past it. But she'll do it. Okay. She, when I was little, she used to take me up to a store called Kmart. She loved Kmart. 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 I could tell you I despise the store. I'll never ever. I walked into one because out of necessity a few years ago, and I'll never go back into one again. But I learned an amazing lesson there. Back in the 70s, in the mid to late 70s, Kmart used to have what's called a blue light special. A blue light special was they'd have these blue lights situated around the store, and you know, I would get my icy. She would get me a little icy, so I was happy. Put me in the cart, and this blue light would go off in like auto parts, and you would hear this. Good morning, Kmart shoppers. There's a blue light special in auto parts right now for the next 15 minutes. And then you would see, I'm literally hundreds of people running towards the auto parts, department. They would buy all this crap on blue light special because it was on a discount. Because in 15 minutes it was over. It's crazy, right? But the reason why my mom used to do that is because she knew that it was on sale, and she was going to buy it while it was on sale, because when that blue light special was over, all the prices went back to normal. And that lesson that I learned as a kid has translated well for me as a trader. Look, I don't pay up for things. I only buy them when it's cheap. Okay? I look at the dollar yen, and you guys know this. I've been sitting here waiting for this thing. I'm like, look, this particular pair is moving higher. I'm very well aware it's moving higher. But I am not willing to buy when it's full price. I'm only willing to buy when it goes on sale. That's why I've been sitting here watching the US dollar Japanese yen for the last, couple of days, saying, man, if this thing dips to 116, I'm a buyer. Why? Because the trend is going up. I'm telling you, I'd way rather be a buyer here than a buyer here. I'd way rather be a buyer here than a buyer here. I'd way rather be a buyer here than over here. I always want to buy dips and sell rallies. And that's when I look at something, I look at an asset class and say, that is on blue light special. Gold's going higher. It just dipped 50 bucks. I'm going to buy it here because it's cheap. The euro dollar just sold off 50 pips. I'm going to get long because I think the euro dollar is going higher. The pound dollar rallied 100 pips. I'm going to short it because I eventually think it's going to move lower. The problem with most traders in the beginning, and most traders in general, is they get caught in the inertia of the market, and they get excited about this. And then when a pair is moving higher, they're like, it's breaking out, I'm getting long. I don't buy it when it's full price. I wait for a discount. I wait for it to go on sale, and when it goes on sale, I'm a buyer. Think about that. Think about what you do in your normal life. I go out and I hate shopping, but when I go out shopping, I only buy crap on sale. I do. I don't pay up for anything. You got a new car? Great. I want to buy a brand new BMW M5. Fantastic. I'm going to buy one that's a year old because I'm going to let somebody else take the hit paying premium dollar for it. I'll buy it next year used after somebody took a $12,000 hit on it, and I'll buy it on the cheap. Okay? Don't pay up for anything. Think about that before you get in the market the next time. Don't chase. If you don't chase price, it will save you so much. It'll save you so much heartache in the future. How many of you guys, and you can answer this question to yourself, how many of you guys feel that you are the best? Like there's none better than you? Like you sometimes think it's a special skill that you have. How many of you think you are the best at actually buying the highest price before it goes down, whatever it is? You think you're a specialist in that. If you think you are a specialist in buying the high or shorting at the low of the market, you are chasing price. If you don't chase price, if you only buy on discounts, if you only buy things when you're on sale, I can guarantee you this, you will not buy the high anymore. You will never be that guy or that gal. That I can guarantee you. Think about that. I can't guarantee you much, but if you're not chasing price, you will never buy the high or sell the low again. And if you never buy the high or you never sell the low again, think about how much of a difference that'll make in your trading career. Just think about that for a moment. Plan your trades, buy pullbacks, sell rallies, and have conviction about what you're doing. And have an idea of what you want to do. Conviction. Look, when we do a bias chart, and I'll pull it up really quick. When we have a bias chart, and Paul will be doing these with you, when I fill out this bias chart and you see this, you see this, or something, a derivative of this in the markets, and I can go on and on and on. That's conviction. Like I've got conviction in a direction. When you see this, whoops, yeah, that's fine. When you see stuff that looks like this, the market lacks conviction. When the market lacks conviction, you probably have less conviction. Think about what you're doing then. Think about how you should be trading when you have a view of the market that's not type of conviction. Have conviction in what you're doing. Have a plan, have conviction, and buy pullbacks and sell rallies. So important. Okay. One of the other things I wanted to leave you with before we take our next break is I want to talk about charts. Look, you're going to meet a lot of people in the markets. You're going to meet a lot of people in the markets in the coming months, years ahead. And they're going to try to sell you on the fact that they got the next best thing to slice bread, the next best strategy to slice bread. You know, one thing that I'm very proud of, that if you've been listening here to the Morning Edge for the last 2, 5, 10 years plus, you'll notice that my charts look the exact same they did from the first time that you heard me. Why? Because they're simple. I'm not using any, wacky type of analysis. I'm not using any type of combination of this, that, and the other thing. I use trend lines, I use fibs, I use RSI, and that's it. I keep it simple. Don't overcomplicate things. Trading's hard enough. So hard. It's so hard. It's hard on your psyche. It's, can elevate your stress levels. When you're trading, you're managing money. Whether it's $1,000 or it's $10 million, it's stressful. Don't overcomplicate things. Keep it simple. A chart is a tool. It's a hammer. I don't have I don't have a special charting service that I use. I don't have a special hammer that I use. I have the same freaking hammer that knocks in the same nails that you do. But that's what it is. It's a tool. It's how you use the tool. I'm not saying that the way that I look at the markets is the right way. There is no right way. The right way is the way that you look at the markets and you're comfortable with it. As long as you're looking at an indicator that produces consistent results based on the data that it is inputted into it, as long as you use it the way that you feel comfortable, it'll work for you. It doesn't have to, you don't need some special sauce. And when you find what works for you, don't change it. Because the first common misconception of traders is, in order to make more money, I need to change what I'm doing to make more money. To make more money, I have to add this indicator, that indicator, this indicator, and then I'm going to make more money somehow. That is incorrect. The way you make money in the markets is finding a system that works for you specifically, and then picking up your position size. It's all about your process. What process works for you? I know what works for me. I know what combination of trend lines and fibs and indicators and RSIs will work to make me money. Then from there, all I do is I notch up my position size and continue with that strategy. It's not about making it more complicated for yourself. It's not about adding the special sauce that somebody has created. Somebody says that they have this special way that you can make money every time. Just run. Go the other direction. Find out what works for you and do it. Do it with conviction. Do it with a plan. And do it with discipline. All right, guys. I'm going to put you on break for a few minutes. I'm going to take a couple sips of coffee. When I come back, I've got a laundry list of things I still want to talk about, so don't go anywhere. I hope you're enjoying this as much as I am. Be back in a few minutes.